early 1900s, an era marked by societal shifts, burgeoning feminist movements, and an increased awareness of reproductive health, a new approach to daily life was budding. Populations were drastically increasing, and families were becoming uncomfortable with conformity and obedience to authority as hallmarks in Western civilization. As the 20th century unfolded, traditional gender roles and expectations faced growing scrutiny, prompting a demand for greater autonomy over reproductive choices. In the mid-20th century, a revolutionary breakthrough in medical science would transform the landscape of reproductive health and women's rights: the birth control pill. Its creation and subsequent modernization marked a pivotal turning point in history, reshaping societal norms, empowering women, and challenging traditional perspectives on family planning. Against the backdrop of a changing world, where women sought to redefine their roles and assert control over their destinies, the birth control pill emerged as a beacon of empowerment, catalyzing a paradigm shift in reproductive health and forever altering the trajectory of human relationships and societal expectations.
Sometimes the events of decades can crystallize in a moment, and it seems as if overnight there's this historic change.
The concept of birth control has ancient roots, with evidence suggesting that various civilizations engaged in practices aimed at controlling fertility, with one method being oral contraception. Attempts of birth control methods strained out of ancient Egypt, the Roman Empire, and Africa. As society progressed into the Middle Ages, birth control became entangled with religious ideologies. The Catholic Church condemned contraceptive practices, and information on birth control methods were often suppressed. Though the 19th century saw the development of more reliable contraceptive methods, the era was also marked by restrictive legislation. In the United States, the Comstock laws of the 1870s criminalized the distribution of contraceptive information and devices. This legal repression limited the access of birth control and reinforced conformative societal norms. Surprisingly, the early 20th century witnessed a pivotal shift in the birth control narrative, spearheaded by activists like Catherine McCormick, Mary Dennett, and Margaret Sanger, the founder of the American Birth Control League and the forerunner of Planned Parenthood Federation of America.
Most women are raised to believe their true role is that of wife and mother, but some women are questioning whether this is so. Is this the true role?
In 1914, Sanger introduced the term birth control in her newsletter titled The Woman Rebel, and after her arrest for running a birth control clinic, her outlook lobbied the government to treat contraception as a public health necessity. By the late 1930s, birth control had become a normal part of medical practice, and scientists discovered that certain doses of hormones could prevent ovulation. In the 1950s, American biologist Gregory Pincus and his collaborator, Dr. John Rock, pioneered research on hormonal contraception. In 1951, the team successfully conducted their first successful clinical trials with synthetic hormones, paving the way for an invention of great magnitude. Their work laid the foundation for the creation of the first oral contraceptive, commonly known as the pill. On June 23, 1960, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approved the new form of birth control, Inovid, marking a watershed movement in reproductive health. 400,000 women visited their doctors to obtain Inovid contraceptives in the first year of its release.
Of the first 18 people to testify at the hearings, none were women, but women went anyway.
You are not going to sit quietly any longer. You are murdering us for your profit and convenience.
The widespread availability of the birth control pill contributed to a significant shift in societal attitudes towards sexuality and family planning. It challenged the stigma associated with premarital sex and opened up conversations about sexual health. As the pill became more accessible, it contributed to the sexual revolution, fostering a more progressive approach to intimacy and relationships. These beneficiaries greatly impacted one population in particular, though, the women's liberation movement. The advent of the birth control pill empowered women in unprecedented ways. For the first time, women gained control over their reproductive choices, allowing them to plan pregnancies and pursue educational and career opportunities. The ability to decide when and if to have children became a transformative force, catalyzing the women's liberation movement of the 1960s and 70s. The pill became a symbol of female autonomy and a catalyst for dismantling traditional gender roles. The birth control pill also had a profound impact on structures and family dynamics. With the ability to control the timing and number of children, couples could make informed decisions about family size, leading to smaller families and an increased parental involvement in child rearing. This shift had economic implications, as smaller families could allocate resources more efficiently, contributing to improved living standards and opportunities for children.
In the average American family today, children are the object of more concentrated thought and concern than the young of any previous generation.
Furthermore, the birth control pill facilitated a shift in societal attitudes towards motherhood. Women were no longer confined solely to the role of caregivers, and they could balance motherhood along with other aspects of their lives, contributing to the diversification of female roles in society. Birth control has undergone significant advancements since its introduction, shaping political history and generating controversy, particularly concerning marginalized communities. The empowerment of female communities of the 60s triggered intense political debates, with conservative factions opposing the pill on moral and religious grounds. These debates contributed to the broader sexual revolution of the 1960s, challenging traditional norms and fostering a new era of women's rights activism. As the birth control pill became more widely accessible, issues of socioeconomic disparity and healthcare inequality became the forefront. Marginalized communities, including low-income individuals and communities of color, face barriers to access the pill due to factors such as economic constraints, limited healthcare infrastructure, and discriminatory practices. Advocates argued that these disparities perpetuated existing social inequalities and hindered the ability of marginalized communities to control their reproductive rights. Feminists also critiqued aspects of the pill's development and distribution, highlighting concerns about potential side effects and pharmaceutical companies' motivations. Though, since the birth control pill's inception, it has undergone significant advancements. Researchers have developed new formulations with lower hormone levels to minimize side effects. Additionally, the availability of different types of oral contraceptives, including combination pills, Protestant-only pills, and extended cycle pills, provides women with a wide range of options to suit their individual needs and preferences. More of these alternative methods of contraception include birth control patches, injections, and uterine devices, IUDs, being developed in the modern world and emerging after the invention and radicalization of the birth control pill. These advancements continue to enhance the pill's effectiveness and reduce potential health risks. Additionally, ongoing efforts have been made to dismantle barriers to access marginalized communities, acknowledging the historical disparities and working towards a more equitable provision of reproductive health care.
We shall overcome someday.
This demonstration was in aid of the Women's Liberation Movement 4-point program: free contraceptives and abortion, equal education and jobs, equal pay, and 24-hour nursery.
The landscape of human relationships and societal expectations were forever altered by a revolutionary breakthrough in medical science, the birth control pill. Today, we acknowledge its role as a turning point in history, a beacon of empowerment that reshaped societal norms, empowered women, and challenged traditional perspectives on family planning forever. From its origins in the 1950s to its contemporary formulations, the pill has played a crucial role in empowering women, challenging traditional gender roles, and fostering conversations about sexual health. It's essential to recognize the ongoing need for informed discussions, research, and advancements to ensure that reproductive rights and choices remain at the forefront of societal progress. The societal and cultural impact of the birth control pill was profound. It challenged the stigma surrounding premarital sex, fostering conversations about sexual health and contributing to the sexual revolution. Most significantly, it empowered women, catalyzing the women's liberation movement of the 1960s and 70s. The modernization of the pill brought about advancements and controversy. Political debates, particularly around marginalized communities, challenged traditional norms and fostered a new era of women's rights activism. Issues of socioeconomic disparity and healthcare inequality were brought to the forefront, emphasizing the need to address barriers to access these contraceptive devices for all. While debates on moral and religious grounds still persisted, the birth control pill continued to evolve. Researchers developed new formulations, offering a wide range of options with lower hormone levels to minimize side effects. The emergence of alternative methods reflected the ongoing progress of reproductive health care. As we conclude this reflection on the transformative impact of birth control pill as a turning point in history, let us acknowledge the ongoing efforts to dismantle barriers and promote equitable access. The birth control pill stands as a symbol of autonomy, a catalyst for progress, and a testament of humanity's capacity to shape its destiny. May we continue to strive for a world where reproductive rights are not just a privilege, but a universal right, shaping a future where every individual has the power to control their own destiny.